Now, very rarely does a day of absolute euphoria result in absolute shock and disbelief right after. An entire country went to bed last night after witnessing one of the most inspiring and unbelievable journeys, that of Vinesh Phogat overcoming all hurdles, the toughest of opponents, to make it to the final of the wrestling 50 kg category at Paris Olympics. The first Indian woman to do so, and everyone woke up to the shocking news of Vinesh getting disqualified, going medalless. It has been that kind of a roller coaster ride for Vinesh, who was disqualified from the final bout, the gold medal match against USA's Sarah Hildebrandt, because she weighed 100 grams more than 50 kgs. We talk of sport being a field where the slightest of margins determines a winner from a loser. We've seen so many examples of it already, right here at the Games itself. But no story could establish that more and with such anguish than this. And to think Vinesh did all that she possibly could to shave off the extra kilos at the end of her 3 bouts last night. 3 grueling bouts where she ruled the mat. At the end of it all, she found herself to be close to 3 kilos in excess. She had to eat to gain energy for the next day, but of course, it was the big final. The fact that this is not her natural weight category did not help. Why? Because she always fought in the 53 kg category. The fact that she had to push herself hard and take a gamble, drop her weight to find a spot in the 50 kg category at the Olympics. Why? Because her compatriot Antim Pangal had made it to the 53 kg one. So all of this meant she was fighting everything. Her own personal anguish of the last whole year, where she stood tall against the authorities and fought for Indian women wrestlers. Her own personal heartbreaks of 2 Olympics gone by without even getting close to a medal. Her ACL injury and surgery, followed by recovery. After all of this, she had to fight her own body. And she did all, gave it her all, more and more than that, over the whole night, whole of last night without a moment of sleep. But she failed. No athlete should have to go through something like this before the night of a big final. She was even hospitalized afterwards because of dehydration. So really, I cannot imagine what Vinesh would be going through. I spoke to AFI president and someone who's present there with the Indian contingent, Adil Sumariwala, just a while back on to tell us what really transpired and how everything panned out to the result of this horrific turn of events for Vinesh and, of course, the Indian contingent.
It's a very, very big story that's developing at the Paris Olympics, and it involves the Indian contingent. And to shed more light on that, and of course, the whole campaign so far, is none other than someone who's also a very, very well-established face in Indian athletics. He's the president of AFI. He's an Olympian himself. Thank you so much, Adil Sumariwala. We go back a long way. Thank you so much for taking your time out to speak to us here. My first question, how heartbreaking is this episode with Vinesh being disqualified?
Oh, no, absolutely. Absolutely. Anybody who reaches a final and has to be disqualified is absolutely heartbreaking. I mean, there are no words to express it, whether the sort of emotional stress that the athlete goes through, first to reach that level, and then the next stage is you get disqualified. It's really heartbreaking.
What is the position? What exactly happened there? Because give us a bit of how the day panned out. Till yesterday, all was well. But Adil, can you explain what the rules exactly are? Because a lot of people, of course, are also a little confused and unaware. Can you break it down to us?
So it's simple that you have to weigh in before your bout. So yesterday she weighed in. She was the right weight category. If you remember, she had reduced her weight to come into the lower weight category because Antim was fighting in the higher weight category. Now what happened was that after she won her 3 bouts, she went back to the village. Naturally, after you finish your weighing in, you're allowed to eat, you're allowed to drink water, you're allowed to do everything. So the important thing is your weight has to be correct at the point when the weighing in happens. Nothing else is important. That window of 15 minutes that you get for your weighing in is the most important window for your life. So after that, she went back to the village. She she knew that she had eaten and that therefore she would be overweight. So she was with the medical team, Dr. Padiwala, right through the night, going into the sauna, jogging, running, uh, removing her hair, whatever she needed to do to reduce the weight. But she was still a few grams overweight when the weighing in happened this morning. So that is it. I mean, I don't know why these things do happen. These things do happen. It's sad that it had to happen to her. And I think the whole Indian contingent is giving her all the support that they can. The government is giving her all the support. The team is giving her all the support. The medical team is giving her all the support. She's pretty dehydrated at the moment because the whole night she was trying to reduce her weight. It's not easy to reduce weight so much. So therefore, the whole medical team is on it. The staff is on it. Dr. Padiwala personally is on it. And but we couldn't get her to reduce the last few grams.
Mrs. Mariwala, we also heard that a lot of efforts were made by IOA also to request the IOC to shift and give more time for the weigh-in. Is that true? And is there a set time that these many hours before the weigh-in has to happen before the bout?
Yes, there is. There is a set time. There is only a small window that is given for the weighing in. And once that window is closed, there is nothing much that you can do. And therefore, the window passed. They've tried everything. The whole team management was on it because they knew that there was an issue. So the team management was ready to put in all the protests that they could. They did everything possible. But then certain rules are rules. And you can't it's like no it's like it's like a race in 100-meter race. Even if you break the gun by 1,000th of a second, it's still a foul start. So every gram makes a difference, and then there are certain rules, and then you play by the rules, as simple as that. Now it's just unfortunate. It's really unfortunate that it happened to happen to Vinesh, who's a great fighter, who's a great athlete, a great fighter, and it's heartbreaking for all of us.
Yes, Adil, if I could just ask you to put this in words for us. I mean, it was what a roller coaster ride. It's been 24 hours from almost getting one gold for India to now not even having a medal there in that category. How much of a fight and how heartwarming it was for all of you to witness the last 24 hours in her journey, and how heartbreaking is it now?
No, absolutely. When she beat the Japanese, who had won 84 bouts, not lost a single bout in 84 bouts, and for that to beat an athlete like that, I mean, we were on top of the world, and we were pretty sure that we had the first gold coming in today, but then it was not to be. And I mean, you can't even explain in words what it means. If you've not been an athlete, if you've not competed, you just can't express it in words. And I can tell you that the team is with her. The team is giving her all the support. She's getting support from every single quarter. She is medically, even not only mentally, but medically even down. And Dr. Padiwala is personally looking after her because she is quite dehydrated after trying to reduce her weight. So we are doing everything possible, but also remember that now we also need to focus on the remaining medals, Antim fights today. So that's our next medal hope. So okay, so we've passed that, we've crossed that level. Now we need to also focus on the other athletes and make sure that we do well in the other events. So while we give her every emotional support, we also have to focus, and our focus has to now, we have to move forwards, and our focus has to move on to Antim and Neeraj and the others.
Absolutely. You said it well, Adil. In fact, just a few more questions, and I know you're busy there. You're at Paris. I know it's a very, very important moment these next few days. If you could sum up India's campaign, there have been so many near misses. It's not just Vinesh. There's been so many athletes just missed. Has this been a bit of that thing about luck as well? I mean, for everyone, and it's heartbreaking for everyone who's watching.
I don't believe in luck. I don't believe in luck. These things happen. These things happen. This is sport. This is sport at the highest level. And these things happen all the time. I mean, the best in the world lose. So, I mean, the best in the world can have a bad day. It's just that some of our, like for example, Laksha, our badminton doubles, yesterday's hockey. I mean, there are times when you really want to but there's nothing you can do because you're playing the best in the world. And these things happen. This is what sport is all about. And it would not be, if this didn't happen, it would not be sport, and we have to take it and figure out what happened, work on a strategy. These are the things that happened. Because of these things, we didn't do well. These were our faults. This is where we went down. So how do we improve on all of these in the time to come?
All right, just passing the last thought before we wrap this up from you, Adil. Next few days, what's the mood like in the camp? What are you looking forward to, and how are you looking to end this? How's Indian contingent looking to end this campaign?
So I'm not in the village, and therefore I don't know, because I sit on the jury of World Athletics. So I'm not in the village, number one. Number two, talking to the athletes. I think every athlete is focusing on their events to come, those who have not finished their events. And I think the focus is absolutely there. While everybody's sad for Vinesh, I think those who have to compete are completely focused on whatever they have to do. So.
All right, Adil, I'll leave you at that. Thank you so much for joining in. Yes, heartbreaking it was, but wishing you and the rest of the Indian contingent all the very best.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Climate change is on our doorstep. It's time for a revolution to take root. And it starts with 1.4 billion Indians. It starts with one tree for humanity, one tree for Mother Earth, one tree for our future. Project One Tree, a News 18 network initiative.
Across continents, one powerful news source.
Bringing you diverse perspectives on the issues that matter.
We go beyond the boundaries to give you that little extra about every sporting moment. So thank you for making Firstpost 5 million strong. We're counting on your support, and you can trust us to bring you the news unfiltered and unvarnished. On the show today, the T20 World Cup bandwagon has moved across to the West Indies. What can you expect?